Good morning, Needham High, and welcome back to this week's broadcast of NHSN. I'm Josh Tuttleman.
And I'm Isabel Young. To start things off, we'd like to thank the NEF for awarding 8 grants of $45,524 that will benefit students throughout the Needham Public Schools, 4 of which will be going to Needham High School.
Another way to honor your seniors is balloonograms. The date for balloonograms 2021 is Friday, June 4th, just in time for graduation weekend. Orders may be placed beginning April 12th through the Touchdown Club website, which is touchdownclubneedham.org. Each balloon is $10 and includes a card and envelope for you to personalize your message. Curbside pickup will be available, and for any questions, please email tdcballoons@gmail.com.
Wow, I'd love to get one of those. On a sadder note, spring MCAS dates for juniors, sophomores, and first years are as follows. For grades 10 and 11, ELA MCAS will be on Monday and Tuesday, May 10th and 11th. Also for grades 10 and 11, the Math MCAS will be on Thursday and Friday, May 13th and 14th, and for grade 9, the Science MCAS will be Monday and Tuesday, June 7th and 8th.
I'm so sorry. On a lighter note, the Needham Town election is coming up on April 13th. To inform eligible voters of NHS on the Select Board election, NHSN is doing a series of interviews with the candidates. Let's go to Veronica for an interview with a candidate, Marcus Nelson.
I just have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So the first one's pretty easy. It's just we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So my name is Marcus Nelson. I live in Needham, as you know, and I have the opportunity to run for a select board in Needham. I grew up in central New York and came out to Boston in 2012 and have been living and working in Needham for the last seven years. And I've had just a really great opportunity. I started working for the YMCA, is where I've had the opportunity to really meet a lot of people and to connect with a lot of different families at all ages. So it's been, quite a pleasure and a privilege to be able to be a part of this community and now kind of take my involvement or my community, activism to another level, and with the chance to run and hopefully get elected to the select board.
Thank you. So the second question is, why are you running for the select board, and why do you what do you think makes you qualified for it?
Absolutely. So the reason why I'm running, there's a couple different reasons. One of the reasons is, as much as I love and appreciate, living in Needham, I've had a lot of good conversations with people in leadership positions. And over the years, I've come to realize more and more when I look at those positions and the people that are governing this town, I realize that there's no one that looks like me or looks like any other person of color that are in Needham. There's a lot of people that have done so many great things and a lot of great work. And I feel like I could be an asset to help further that and to give a new perspective, a new lived experience and something, a younger generational approach than we've previously seen on the select board. Another reason why I ran is because I was in a town hall meeting last July, and it was put on by the select board, and they had different people kind of share their experiences about what they felt like in Needham. And some of the responses that I heard from that were really off-putting, and people therefore didn't want to share all of their experiences and things that they felt because of the way that they're being answered. So I reached out to one of the select board members about, getting more involved. I have a really good pulse on this town. I've been able to connect with, hundreds, if not thousands of people in all different levels, from all different backgrounds. And it's been really an honor to do that. And because of the work I've been able to do with connecting people, with listening, with being as transparent as I can with the way that I do things. And sometimes I over communicate, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think bringing that perspective and doing more of that in Needham is something that is needed. And that's something I can bring to the table. So I'm excited for that.
And the last question is, what are your goals in office, and what are you planning on bringing to Needham?
Absolutely. So I have quite a few different goals or things that I'm really interested in. When I think about the education system and, the way that we're hiring teachers, a more diverse crop of teachers, what kind of history and things that we're teaching in the classrooms, putting more of a focus on mental health is something I'm really interested in. I'm interested in racial and social justice. And I'm really excited to be able, right now, what I'm doing, I'm on the new RE group, which is Needham Unites Against Racism Working Initiative. And our job is to kind of work with different entities and leaders in town to listen to their ideas, listen to things that they're doing, and submit ideas from us. And we've had a couple conversations with the police chief, Chief John, about the way that we have been policing, things that we are not doing as well, things that we can get better. And something that he said is he acknowledges that it's something that we need to work on, and the Needham Police Department's willing to do whatever it takes to make that better. And for both ways, the communication and being transparent from the police department and, how they view, Needham and its constituents, and then how constituents like myself and you and other people in Needham view the police department. So I'm excited to work with the chief and collaborate and come up with some, ideas and things that make the people feel more heard, more safe, and know that we're doing all that we can to make them feel that way. Think about small businesses, and we have the American Rescue Plan, which is something that we're going to get an estimated $3 million from the state in funding to put towards, things like small businesses or the sewer line or people in things that were affected by COVID-19, with able to give a little funds and comfort. I'm excited to do that and see how we can spend that money and using the community's input and focusing on some, real key areas. Another thing that I'm interested in or passionate about besides, police education, I think about the environment, climate change, and that knowing that it's real, science and everything else backs it up, making it more of a focus in Needham, so we can do our best to leave a better carbon footprint in all that we do, whether it's building buildings, schools, having an environmental plan, kind of like the one that Newton has. They have a 5-year plan, working with Green Needham to really do some things, the way, when I think about transportation, whether it's more bike lanes or just more green space and more, trees and things. So we're doing our best to make sure that Needham stays as green and as wonderful for it is for us now and in the future as well.
Thanks, Veronica. Well, now it's time.
Sports! Ha! Beat you to it! Thanks, guys. Rockets scored lots of wins against Brookline last week. Football had a big win, putting them at 2-1. Girls and boys track and field stand at 1-2 and 2-1 respectively. And girls volleyball continues to remain undefeated at a whopping 8-0. Check out our YouTube channels for live games and past streams. Good luck to our Rockets playing Natick this week. That's all for this week, and as always, stay fly, Rockets.
Well, that's all we have for this week. We'll see you next time on NHSN.